Pedro Neto to Arsenal. Arsenal retain interest in signing Pedro Neto either in January or the summer transfer window. But let's look at January because this is imminent. Arsenal need a player to be playing into that position that Pedro Neto plays in. And this season, he's obviously firing up all cylinders. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. This is the Football News Show. As we discuss Pedro Neto to Arsenal, what does Fabrizio Romano has to say about this deal of Pedro Neto to Arsenal? And Gravenberch revealing to us the main reason as to why he snubbed other teams and decided to join Liverpool. And lastly, Jeremy Doku has been obviously speaking about him being compared to Eden Hazard as the person to step in or the heir to the throne of Eden Hazard, and he has finally gone ahead to let us know his say here on the Rokani Media Football. Smash the like button close to 300 times. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. It's a Friday day, the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum. It has been a Juma Karim. It ended way back. And here we come in peace with what we call your news that really attaches to your different teams that you support onto this channel. The Christians, may the living to God bless you abundantly. The atheists, it depends on where you obviously belong and what you believe in. So Arsenal is one of those teams that have gone ahead to obviously be linked to very many players as far as the winter transfer window that starts in the 1st of January to the 31st of January is concerned. Arsenal has been linked to Ivan Toney. There is a defender they've been linked to, and there is Pedro Neto. And now, who obviously sparked this off was Ryan Taylor Sport, when he obviously came out and told us that Arsenal retained an interest in Wolves' Pedro Neto, and he was the subject of a transfer inquiry that was immediately rebuffed this summer. Neto's ability to provide cover on either flanks is a key factor behind Arsenal's interest. Now, Neto Pedro. Why Pedro Neto? I've just gone ahead to record a video, and I've told you that the problem of Arsenal is not a center forward. The problem of Arsenal is the backup or competitor for Bukayo Saka. You guys, there is always a colossal void when you're not having Bukayo Saka in your team. You know that very well. And most of you are fidgeting when Arsenal never really had this man into that game. And I've always gone ahead and told you that, to me, that is the first player that Arsenal should bring in. And after bringing him on, then they can look either sides. But that is the most important player that Arsenal will be looking at. And when I saw this story being brought to us by Ryan Taylor Sport, that Arsenal is obviously interested in Pedro Neto and retain interest in the player, I really got to know that Arteta knows exactly what might stop him from really winning the league. Because we all know what Arsenal loses when they obviously play Gabriel Jesus as a right forward. You know, trust me, that City defense wouldn't have been bothered the same if at all Jesus was leading that line. Nketiah never gave them a go, but Jesus would have gone ahead to drop deep, get that ball, and obviously take it to them and make some good runs that would make the other players that play next to him better. Something that Eddie Nketiah doesn't qualify to in his footballing abilities. So it really remains a very huge blocking factor for Arsenal, because you wouldn't like to be playing your best striker as a right forward when you are going to play a team like Man City and Eddie Nketiah to lead the line. You would like to see Jesus coming in through and always taking the mantle to lead the line. And what's the cause of that? Simple. Not having a player that can play that side effectively. Because Jesus was the only player Arsenal have gone ahead to have who obviously played there at Man City for a very long time and had the engine to track back. Kai Havertz has to been seen being played onto the right forward area, but Arteta felt like getting him to be played onto that side and people comparing him to Bukayo Saka would have gone ahead to pile more pressure onto him if at all he doesn't really perform. That's why he brought him on as a center forward, and he provided an assist for Gabriel Martinelli in that only goal that saw Arsenal win by 1-0 against that side of Man City. So this is the missing piece in Mikel Arteta's jigsaw. That is it. He knows it very well, and I also know it that even they are really chasing for this player, and he know that if there is a position they must fill or avoid, they might feel it's this one. Now, again, Fabrizio Romano went ahead and told us that Arsenal have a long-standing interest in Pedro Neto, who looks set to leave Wolves in 2024. Other clubs could join the race for the winger. So, Arsenal are having a long-standing interest for Pedro Neto. That is not a lie. We also know that in the summer of 2022, right, it was David Austin who broke the story that Arsenal are interested in signing Pedro Neto, and Wolverhampton Wanderers would call in for £50 million. But as Arsenal are pushing to obviously sign Pedro Neto found himself injured. One of the things that you'll hate about Pedro Neto is the injury record. But it looks like this season, he has gone ahead to obviously show us that he's not an injury-prone player, and he's obviously getting back to where he deserves to be. And the main reason as to why he's the right player for Arsenal to sign in the January transfer window, he's a Premier League proven player. He's not going to be here to learn the league. That is it. Like they got in Jorginho and Leandro Trossard, Pedro Neto will hit the ground running into that position of Arsenal. I believe he's more fast than Bukayo Saka. He has a skill set that can obviously scare off his opponents, and he easily skips past them. That is Pedro Neto for you, and I really anticipate he's really going to be one of those players to reckon with at Arsenal, if Arsenal really believes to break the bank and obviously get this player in. And this season, to show you that he's really meaning business, he has gone ahead to play 8 Premier League games. He has scored 1 goal and 5 assists. What else do you want? What else do you want? 23 years of age, still young Pedro Neto. He is really ready to go for the next stage. And if at all people don't believe in him, you obviously understand what he's made of when he obviously crosses to the opponent's side. But he's the right signing that Arsenal should get in immediately in the January transfer window to obviously see to it that their team obviously hits the milestone, all the climax of where they want to be. So, to my own understanding, I believe in Pedro Neto, and I believe he's the player that Arsenal should bring in through. 5 assists at Wolverhampton Wanderers. That means when he comes in at Arsenal, he can obviously put in more, because he comes in through at Arsenal to obviously set competition for Bukayo Saka, almost in the same age bracket, and obviously see Bukayo Saka rest some games. If Saka isn't obviously doing anything, all he has gone ahead to obviously score his goals, take him off. Even some games, start Pedro Neto and obviously bench Bukayo Saka, because that's what competition brings. That is it. So, to my own understanding, it's really one of those signings that Arsenal should make to see to it that they really cap their Premier League this season. It's a signing that can cost them close to £50 million, and Wolverhampton Wanderers are willing to cash out for the player. But is Arsenal willing to pay or meet the realistic evaluation of this team? Because you might find it when they can call in for £60 million. But if Arsenal has a signing to make in January, I think it's Pedro Neto, not Ivan Toney, because Pedro Neto brings in goals and brings in assists, But for Ivan Toney, he only gets you goals. He rarely puts in assists, because last season he saw himself put up 4 assists in the entire season. That is it. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But Pedro Neto to Arsenal is really a huge one that even Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to stamp and obviously tell us that he's a long-standing player that Arsenal are interested in, and you never know, in January Arsenal might go in for him, and that will be some good business for Arsenal. Then we go to the other player that goes by the names of Ryan Gravenberch at Liverpool. He has gone ahead and revealed to us as to why he joined the club of Liverpool. He said, Klopp was key for me to join Liverpool. I spoke to him before and he gave me a good feeling. He said to me, I want you. He gave me his plans and explained everything. Gave me such a good feeling that my decision was the first one. That is it. 4. I think for Ryan Gravenberch, he came in through at the right team, scoring his first goal for Liverpool at Anfield in the mid of last week in the UEFA Europa League, and he obviously came in through and played against Brighton, though they went ahead to lose that game to draw that game 2-2 with Brighton. But I know he's obviously going to be a very huge force to reckon with into that engine room of Liverpool, because his talent is really undoubted. He's one of those players that you obviously want to see in your team because he plays a variety of positions. And at Liverpool, he's obviously thriving, and Jurgen Klopp is really that manager that obviously talks to you and convinces you to obviously come in through. Now, it shows you how good a manager he is, because he has gone ahead to elevate these players from where they are to a different level altogether. Remember, this midfield of Liverpool last season had Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, they had Thiago Silva, and now we are having a new look of a midfield of Liverpool with Gravenberch, Soboslai, McAllister. Those three are going to be the ideal midfield three of Liverpool throughout this season, and they're looking like they've been playing together for a very, very long time. And it shows you that Liverpool has not gone ahead to add more to its defense. They've not added more to their attack, but they've gone ahead to really elevate their midfield, and they are back to a team that they're supposed to be last season competing for the trophy. And I think Gravenberch is really making a good move. He made a very wrong move to go to Bayern Munich, and maybe he has been given another chance to revive his career and become the player that he deserves to be, that we all thought he was going to become under Erik ten Hag. Remember, he was at Ajax with Erik ten Hag and he left to Bayern Munich. That is it. Then we are having a story coming in from Jeremy Doku on succeeding Eden Hazard for Belgium. He said, "Phew, that's very intense. I want to be myself first and foremost, but I do notice people really like me. They have been extra sweet and friendly since I transferred to Man City and have had some good performances." So he says he wants to be himself, and Jeremy Doku is really a very good player. He has a dazzling body and a dazzling skill set or footwork that obviously threatens away enemies in there for you. And talking about Eden Hazard, he obviously announced his retirement recently, and it's one of those retirements that obviously came in early at the age of 32. As you see them there for the Belgium national team, Eden Hazard has put his boots, all hanged up his boots, and Jeremy Doku has just gone ahead to make his dream signing to the best club in the world, that is Manchester City. And he has shown us some flashes or cameos of what a player can be, but I think he's being affected with the absentia of Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri. But I think when Rodri returns, when they kickstart off their games, I think next next weekend, not this weekend, I think we'll obviously have more supply, and his fluidity in the in the final third will obviously be really great. So that is about Jeremy Doku, but he's a very good player that is going to obviously cause trouble to very many Premier League teams this season. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Tell me your thoughts about Pedro Neto to Arsenal interest still on or lingering on, and what do you make about Jeremy Doku giving us his thoughts about him replacing or succeeding Eden Hazard? And lastly, what do you make about the man Gravenberch and the man who convinced him to join the team of Liverpool? Rokani David remains my name. I'll sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly, the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum. And good night to those going to bed. But you're having some more content coming in through onto this channel in the next 2 hours to come. I'm out.